you. Clairvoyance is coveted in the psychic world because seeing is believing, right? So like, are you clairvoyant? Today, I'll give you 5 ways to know for sure, and one of them is gonna throw you for a loop. If you're an empath and you wanna feel more confident in your decisions and the work you're meant to do in the world, subscribe to my channel and tap that little bell so that you get notified each week when I post a new video. I'm Sierra Rubin, best-selling spiritual author, singer, and lifelong psychic empath. I've spent nearly a decade helping hundreds of women tap into their intuition to get the answers they want and feel comfortable taking empowered action. This is going to be a countdown, okay? So number 5, you're a creative. So this might mean that you are really good at or really drawn to visual art. And it doesn't have to be limited to that. So you could be a creative thinker, a visionary, if you will, and think of things in a different way. Yes, you could be really good at drawing or painting. You could be really good at cooking, gardening, any type of creativity. Maybe it's fashion design, or maybe it's just that you can think outside the box. You have a vision for your life that exceeds what other people might expect for their lives or for you. Your vision, your creativity is not meant to be contained. And so if you are a creative, and if you don't consider yourself to be a creative, but some of these things were resonating with you, I would maybe start to consider yourself a creative. Number 4, how to know if you are a real clairvoyant, is if you have a photographic memory. So if you're really good at games like Hidden Picture or Where's Waldo, or you're able to visualize things in your mind's eye, that is a definite indicator that you could be clairvoyant. And a lot of times with these clairvoyant abilities, these psychic abilities, we get really caught up and think, oh, I'm only clairvoyant if I see spirits. I'm only clairvoyant if I see ghosts. And yes, seeing ghosts and spirits is part of being clairvoyant, and we will talk about that in a little while, but that is not the only qualifier. If you are a creative, if you have a photographic memory, if you consider yourself to be a visual learner, then you are clairvoyant, and these are the beginnings of your clairvoyant abilities coming online. So let me know, do you resonate with either of these so far? If so, tap that like button and tell me in the comments, what is your favorite way to get creative? Number 3, you have a vivid imagination. A vivid imagination. And especially you may have had a vivid imagination when you were a kid. You really marched to the beat of your own drummer. You had ideas. You liked to create little games or make things as a child. You had a vision and an understanding that you were meant to do big things in the world. You might have had an imaginary friend. You might have loved to express yourself artistically as a kid and just had a vivid play imagination, coming up with elaborate pretend play. Did you like to play school? Did you like to play horses like me? What did you like to play when you were a kid? What imaginings did you have? Because that is a big indicator. The imagination is a function of the clairvoyant abilities. And so when people say things like, oh, that was just your imagination, yes, it might have been your imagination, but it was not just your imagination, because clairvoyance speaks in metaphor and archetype just as much as it speaks, in fact, more than it speaks literally. And number 2, you have vivid dreams. And you may not have vivid dreams anymore, or you may not remember your dreams anymore, but you definitely had a few when you were a kid that really stood out to you. But you might be having vivid dreams. Every once in a while, you'll have a dream that has you like, what the heck did that mean? I know that meant something. That really felt impactful. That really felt metaphorical, symbolic somehow. And yes, I want to assure you that every single person has the ability to dream, has the ability to develop lucid dreaming, and has the ability to see into what's really going on in their subconscious through your dreams. This last one is a stunner. So the number 1 indicator that you are clairvoyant is, and we talked about it a little earlier, you've seen lights or shadows out of the corner of your eye. And so I want you to question these spiritual experiences with an open mind. I want you to entertain the idea that when you're seeing these sparkling lights out of the corner of your eye, or you see a bright boop of light out in the distance without having had any lights in your eyes to begin with. When you see or sense a shadow behind you or near you that isn't your own shadow or somebody else who's around you, I want you to entertain the idea that you may be having a spiritual experience, that you may be sensing and perceiving an other dimensional or otherworldly energy. This is not something that you need to be scared of. Spirits are things that you can set boundaries with, and I help you do that in my best-selling book, You Always Know, a 4-step guide for empaths to stop second guessing and trust your intuition. So you definitely need to get your hands on that in the link in the description below. If you want to learn, if you're already having these experiences of sensing shadows and lights and sparkles, and you want to know how to set boundaries so that you don't see anything freaky, definitely check that out. And if you want to know the primary language your intuition is speaking, whether that is clairvoyance or clairsentience or a couple of others, spend 2 minutes taking my Intuition Archetypes quiz. If you join my email community, you'll get a guide that will give you a practice to have you getting clear and practical actionable messages from your higher self in 5 minutes or less for free. Link in the description below, of course. If you liked this video, hit that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you are an empath, check out these 2 awesome videos for empaths right here. I love you today and every day, and I will talk to you soon, girl.